I'm Adam Scott, and I am the guitarist and vocalist in Honeytalks.
And I'm Lauren James, and I'm the drummer and backing vocalist of Honeytalks.
Hey, I'm from Honeytalks. I'm the bass player and professional shouter, and you're listening to New Rock City.
Hey YouTube, welcome back to New Rock City, the show that brings you in-depth and informative interviews, along with awesome music videos from the new faces of punk rock. I'm your host, Stephen Moss, and as a reminder, I'll be having my New Rock City Music Festival in London, England on July 29th and 30th. It's 15 bands who represent 4 countries. And one of those bands is also tonight's musical guest. On today's show, we have Honeytalks, all the way from North Wales. There we go, Denbighshire. So, guys, thank you so much for being on the show.
Thank you.
Our pleasure.
So, for my festival, you guys are going to be playing on Friday, July 29th, 8:15 to 8:50. I have you guys down for a 35-minute set, and I'm really excited for this show because I really think people are really going to be seeing a lot of you guys over the years. So I really wanted to just jump right in to the interview so people can get to know you guys better.
Sounds good.
I'm going to start with Adam. Adam, I was reading that you started the band during lockdown, and I wanted to know, what was your epiphany moment when you realized this is what I want to do?
I can't really pinpoint it, but yeah, it was when we were all locked down and we couldn't do anything, we couldn't see anyone. Yeah, I couldn't work, and I just thought, like, what do I miss the most? What do I really truly miss doing? And it was just not even playing music, it was just going to gigs, like listening to live music. And I've always had this huge passion for music since I was very, very young. And when that's taken away from you, when you have that passion, it's like you do anything in your power to try and get there again, you know? I kind of just had this spur of energy and momentum, and I just thought, right, I'm gonna write like an album's worth of tracks. I'm gonna try and record them really roughly as I can, and just get everything down, and then hopefully try and get some guys who will play with me as well. And that's what I did. I just picked up my guitar and I wrote, and yeah, I wrote like an album's worth in, I don't know, maybe like a month. Like, oh, wow. It was just constant. Like, it was just constant, and I've not been like that for a long time. Gotcha. And yeah, so I did that, and asked these guys to if they were interested, and they were, luckily enough. So here we are today.
That's awesome. So is there a story behind the name?
No, I mean, you kind of always want there to be a story behind, like, a band's name.
It started with a walk.
What was that?
It started with a walk.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Got it. Like, I started it on a dog walk. I was just kind of walking my dogs up the mountain. It's literally over there. I can see it. And I was just going through my head. I was like, you know, when you're mulling things over, and yeah, Honeytalks just came to mind, and I quite liked it. So
that's awesome.
So yes, we stuck with that.
So you are the first guest that I've had from Wales. What is the punk scene like? What's the music scene like? I know for like pop punk where I lived, it was very, very big in like the early 2000s, and it went away. It's kind of coming back. What was it like for you guys?
I'd say it was pretty similar, to be fair. Like,
okay.
Like you say, back in the 2000s, it was pretty, you know, quite a high profile, but then, yeah, it just kind of died off. And I said this past couple of years, I'd say maybe a year and a half, it started picking up that kind of like pop punk melodic kind of vibe.
Gotcha. Despite you guys being so young, you've actually had some really cool experiences. Can you tell us about the competition that you joined for a record deal?
We sort of like, so we were in the studio I think it was in September. Was it September? I think it was like end of September. And basically it was just like a targeted ad, I think we seen on Facebook or something like that. And we had this single, it wasn't quite ready, like, and we sort of pushed the guy who was mixing it. We're like, look, we'd really like to get it in this competition for like a record deal with Marshall Records, and like a little bit of airplay on Kerrang, which is like a big radio station over here, and an opening slot at Download Festival. And we just sort of chanced our arm, managed to push through this recording real quick so it was ready. I sent it off. We didn't hear anything, didn't think anything of it. And then I was out having a meal with my girlfriend, and then I just had the email come through like, oh, you guys are like finalists. And we were like, wow. And then we had to wait until it was our turn. And then we were just trying to like push it to try to get as many votes as we could. Like, and to be fair, it was like Lauren was better at that. She's way more sociable like than I am. So she was like,
that's funny. Like me and Dave were like, me and Dave tried our best to like get people to like us, and people were like, yeah, we want to go and see Lauren, thanks.
That's awesome.
I was possessed, just trying to like get as many like, I don't know, flyers, and I don't know, we're all the same with like the groups and trying to post things, weren't we? It was just all we thought about. It was literally just like plug and try and get as many votes as we could.
That's awesome.
I mean, unfortunately, it was a bit disheartening when we found out that we come second. I was like, oh man, I'd rather have just known that we got to the final and that was it. But to know that you were like this close. But I mean, it's going to open a lot of doors for us. Because we're still like a relatively young band. We've not even been together for a year yet.
Well, that's what I think is so amazing. So less than a year old, and you came in second on a huge like competition like that. That's really damn impressive, man.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much.
So I wanted to get things kicked off with your music, and the first song I'm gonna play is my personal favorite. What can you tell us about the song and the video for New Heights?
Well, that's the song that got us to second in the competition.
Oh, was it really?
Yeah, that was the entry, yeah.
Very nice.
And we were literally kind of, because we'd not long finished in the studio. We hadn't had like the masters back or even, sorry, come on, Phoebes, my dog. So we hadn't even had like the masters back or anything. And then the mix needed doing, and we were kind of like, trying to figure out, are we going to have it back in time to submit a song? So yeah, I think it was literally to the wire, wasn't it? And then I did the music video for it. So yeah, that's cool. It's wicked.
Right on.
How it all just kind of happens.
So for those at home, here's the video for New Heights by Honeytalks.
Wow.
What?
I'm gonna burn these stripes and stay up late. I got a doctor's appointment at 8. Don't wanna say much more about it. Say much more about it. I'm gonna reach new heights of apathy. Read books on life psychology. Don't wanna say much more about it. Say much more about it. I'm drowning in daytime TV. It's what works for me when I'm not sleeping. You'll be okay, they said. You'll never have to fall again. And just stick to what you know, and you'll much more about it. Say much more about it. You'll be okay, they said. You'll never have to fall again. Just stick to what you know, and you'll keep growing. But I'm not quite the warrior that I thought I was.
All right, welcome back to the show, everyone. Lauren, my next question is for you. I was reading a past article where they were describing you and your drumming style, and they said this: think of Travis Barker with an infinitely better haircut.
Yeah.
How did you feel when you heard yourself being compared to such an amazing drummer?
It was pretty insane, actually. Like, I love Travis and like Blink. They're like, oh, absolutely all over their music. So yeah, to hear that, it was quite like an honor, really. And it's like funny, like that people kind of identify that and they see that kind of style of playing coming out in our music. That kind of like, I don't know, quite fast paced and some little cheeky kind of like fills and chops in there, and just trying to keep it different and exciting, trying to get that momentum behind the music. So it was like really cool to hear.
That's awesome. My next question is going to be for everybody. I want to know, who is your biggest musical influence, part one? And for part two, how did that person play a role in helping you become the musician you are today?
Ooh.
Do you know-
Someone can go first. That requires
I'll
thought, man.
go first. I'll go first. I've kind of picked this out of the air, but it's the first one that's come to mind, and it's Dallas Green from City and Colour, or Alexis on Fire. I don't listen to that much City and Colour anymore, but I used to listen to City and Colour and Alexis all the time when I was younger. And I think the thing that the most influential thing about Dallas is he literally puts, like, you can hear every single emotion he's got in his songs, and he's not scared to kind of put that across. And when I was kind of learning to write songs and stuff, it taught me that as well, that it's okay to kind of express how you're feeling in all your songs and stuff, you know. So that's mine, definitely.
Gotcha.
Go on, I'll go. And this is probably going to sound a little bit corny, a little bit cheesy, but it's probably my dad. Like, my dad's not a musician or anything like that.
Actually, I think that's an amazing answer.
Like he knows nothing about music, like in terms of playing or anything like that. But he introduced me to so much good music when I was a kid. Like, I mean, he was making me listen to like bands like The Who, The Jam, like all these amazing bass players, and then like loads of Motown and soul. So I think before I'd even picked up a bass, it was like already inside of me, all these ideas and like melodic bass lines and stuff like that, like James Jamerson, and it was already sort of there. And because of that, and like my dad's sort of wide taste in music, it sort of made me try and incorporate, I don't know, like sort of different ideas into Honeytalks, like stuff that's maybe a little bit outside of just root notes, I guess.
Oh no, I love that, man.
I mean, yeah, like he's always supported me and stuff like that. Like, and he always tells me like he's my biggest fan, which
That's
is
awesome.
it's nice to know that I've got one. You know what I mean?
Great answer, Lauren.
I don't know, really. There's just
Top,
like,
yeah, top that one.
I know, I don't think I can, honestly. I don't know, I guess like when I was like younger, I was like quite big into like the skate scene and things, and there was a lot of like, obviously the music back then, it's all that punk pop and the, I don't know, Blink, like we said, that was like the massive influence. Paramore, Sum 41, Bowling for Soup, all that kind of mix, and I was just like hooked on it. And then also like when I started out drumming, I was like initially in jazz band,
cool.
So I kind of took a lot of influence from that, and Tony Royster Jr. with his like gospel chops and how he kind of like flows around the kit, just kind of like playing around with like the timekeeping and rhythm, and just trying to like make rhythms out of rhythms, and just, you know, really kind of delving into them, and just to just create something fresh and keeping it like, I guess, different.
That's cool.
So that was like a big influence.
I like how you guys talked about the influences being also from different genres, because it reminds me, I took my son to Guitar Center, they had what was called a drum clinic, and they had the drummer from Billy Joel, and he was just like he was meeting and greeting everyone, and his biggest advice for people was, I don't care what music you want to play, listen to all music. And his point was because every style has like things you can take from and learn from and really improve your own sound. So I thought that's pretty cool.
That's awesome.
The next song I'm going to play from you guys is Radio. What can you tell us about the song and video for Radio?
So Radio is kind of about missing opportunities of something that you're passionate about, kind of trying to get back into the swing of things, trying to reach that kind of goal again that you had when you were younger, which has maybe slipped over the years when, you know, life takes a hold of you, you work, you meet new people, you do all these different things, but you've always got that kind of that passion, that passionate goal there. And it kind of dwindles over time, I think, as life goes, but it's always important to remember that you have that. So that's kind of what Radio is about.
Gotcha. So for those at home, here's the video for Radio by Honeytalks.
Will these songs
right, welcome back to the show, everyone. Guys, when you play my festival in July, one of the bands you'll be playing with is Slacker, and they were on my show for season 1, episode 5, and they've done some great things, and I know you guys have played with them before. What was that like for you, playing with Slacker?
Our second show was with Slacker.
Oh, your second show, really?
Yeah, it was pretty much like in our hometown, and it was like we were fresh, like really, really fresh. So it was like really sort of like eye-opening to see how, like, because they're a hard-working band, man. They've done so many shows like in such a short amount of time, and it really tells, you know, like, and it's sort of that togetherness that they have is really good, and I think that's something that we have as well.
Yeah, their tour schedule is insane, playing like days in a row. And I'm going to piggyback my next question off that, because you guys have also played multiple shows with some really great bands. Was there a piece of musical advice that you were given that has stuck with you?
Probably just keep going. If you screw up, don't think about it too much and pretend it didn't happen. That was probably the greatest advice. It didn't happen. Carry on.
Just play through it, right?
Yeah.
Rock and roll, right?
Dave, Adam, what about you guys? What piece of musical advice were you guys given that still sticks with you?
For me, it was always keep your ears open, like listen to what the rest of the band are doing and react to that. Because that will make your performance way more dynamic and just believable to the audience.
Very nice. And Adam?
Yeah, I think one of the most important things I've actually heard is no matter how many people are in the room, you always play like you're playing to like an arena. Like you always put on your best performance. You play your absolute heart out every single gig because everyone's there. Someone's new there every single time. So you've got to give them that same experience every time.
That's some great advice. Very nice. Thank you, guys. The next song I'm going to play from you guys is Parachute. What can you tell us about that song and video?
I think that's my favorite track that we've done so far. Yeah, it's just different, upbeat again, and just a fun track, really. I don't know, if you want to drop in with the, you know what it's about.
Yeah, so Parachute's just like, I think one thing we do best is kind of glossing up kind of like quite emotional lyrics into like some like punk rock or pop punk.
Gotcha.
And I think we've done that in this song really well because it's very kind of in your face. Yeah, it's got these kind of little minor chords here and there. So yeah, this is one of my favorites as well. I really like this one.
Very cool.
And the video is actually where we rehearse.
Oh, that's cool.
And it was a DIYer as well.
Oh, nice.
With his camera, tripod, he had all the lighting, everything. It was like insane, and the time frame he did it in. It was pretty much, we got there, I think it was like at 3:00 in the afternoon, did the shoot for like maybe 2 hours, if that, like setting up, running through the track about 3 times each, was it? And then I think it was like later the next day in the afternoon, he was like, yeah, it's finished. I was like, no way, already? Ready for upload.
That's awesome, man. All right, so for those folks at home, here's Parachute by Honeytalks.
It's crazy to
All right, welcome back to the show, everyone. Adam, you kind of touched on this earlier when you said during lockdown you had over a whole album's worth of songs. What can you tell your fans? Can you give them a little taste of what's to come, or what can they look forward to on your album?
Oh, so much to look forward to. We've see his little paw.
Little handshake.
Take my hand.
He's so needy. Good boy. Yeah, I mean, we've got, the thing is, we're still releasing things that we recorded like last year.
Okay.
And we have so many more songs to record in the next month, and we've got more coming as well. Like, it's the kind of songs that we're coming out with are changing slightly, but I feel like the music is becoming more kind of rounded with our kind of sound, because we're still kind of establishing that kind of sound as well. It's like I was saying to the guys, it's, you know, and they've been in bands before, so I know exactly this, but it's you know, it takes time to find your exact kind of sound, I think. And it's just about experimenting with different melodies, different chord progressions, and all sorts of different things. So yeah, we've got tons of that coming up, and I'm really excited to get all the new stuff out as well. Yeah, I can't wait.
Very nice. So in addition to the new music, what about like shows? What do you have coming up this year that your fans can really get excited about?
We got like some festivals pegged in. Like we got B Fest, which is like a sort of a festival in North Wales Coast, King's Fest.
Oh, cool.
But my diary's like really daunting because I'm just like, wow, I've got to fit work in there as well.
Very cool. The last thing I like to do on my show is just give you guys the floor and say, what would you like to say to your fans? So we can like kind of go in order and just say, what would you like to say to your fans?
Just thank you so much for your support, really. It means a lot. Yeah, we're kind of overwhelmed especially with the competition and everything, the support we had through that. Reading everyone's comments, and yeah, it's like really uplifting and keeps us going, definitely.
Nice. All right, who's next?
Yeah, but the support we've had has been incredible, and we just want to thank like exactly like Lauren said, just thank everyone, because it's you know, we haven't kind of accelerated this quickly just from us making music. It's been people coming to the shows, you know, people listening to the music, streaming the music, watching the videos. It's been literally everything, and we wouldn't have accelerated that quickly unless it wasn't for people doing that. So we just hope we can continue providing for you all.
Yeah, I suppose if you guys keep liking and sharing, we'll keep doing our thing, because without the guys who are listening to us, we wouldn't be able to carry on.
Very cool. So for those watching at home, I'm going to have a link below in the description where you can follow Honeytalks and all their social media, where you can also buy tickets for the London Festival. And we'll catch you guys on the next show. Lauren, Dave, Adam, thank you guys so much, man. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much. Cheers.
Thank you. Take
Enjoy
care.
your day.
Take care.
You too, man.